Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. As always, got a lot to talk about on today's program, and so I want to move right along. I'm going to be talking about some cool, very forward-thinking web platforms that help you get the message out about your events and what you're doing. Brought to you by our friends over there at the Boardroom, and really appreciate Rajiv Jain to be able to join us today. Rajiv, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your company, and even I want to make sure I even get the name of it correct. It's kind of innovative spelling there. A2Z, is that correct?
It is A to Z.
There you go.
A
to Z Inc. You get them all together, though, it gets very confusing. Yeah, I never did very well those Scrabble games, that they used to have in the newspaper when I was a kid. But A to Z Inc. and that's A2ZInc.net. Real quick, give us your elevator speech, a panoramic overview of what you do.
We provide SaaS software for mid to large size exposition and conferences to manage their exposition and conferences online and help them sell exhibit space to exhibitors, manage their conference sessions, publish it all online, let the attendees plan for the event, and have the mobile app to navigate through the event on site.
Okay. And a little bit of the history. Give us the history of the company.
So we've been around for about 17 years now, founded in 1998, consistently growing since then, completely bootstrapped, privately funded. Currently, in mid to large size exposition conferences, our market share is about 47%. The list that came out last week for the top 250 shows in the U.S., we do about 47% of those shows, meaning they use our solution to manage their expositions.
Mm-hmm. And tell me a little bit about a typical client for your firm.
So, for example, like Infocom. Infocom has a large AV show in the U.S. every year, 1 year in Vegas, 1 in Orlando, roughly about 1,200 exhibitors and about 20 to 25,000 attendees. So they would use A to Z to manage their entire exposition, manage all the exhibitors, placing them on the floor, selling the space, sending out invoices, collecting their information for directory, collecting their information for publishing on the website, and all of that. So that would be an example.
Mm-hmm. What is the size range of your clients?
Size range, we look at the size range in terms of their exposition portfolio. So they may have either an exposition of 100 exhibitors or larger, or they may have more than 3 expositions where each exposition may be a little bit smaller, but maybe at least 50 exhibitors. Most of our clients have at least hundreds of exhibitors in their exposition portfolio.
Okay. And are you in any particular area geographically, or are you all over the country, or even all over the planet? Talk a little bit about that.
Oh, we are global, so we have clients all over the world, though, of course, our biggest concentration is within the U.S. Within the U.S., we are all over the country.
How did you make yourselves different, and how are you different from what was the prevailing platforms before you came along?
Well, again, keep in mind we started in 1998, and prior to A to Z entering into the space, the prevailing platforms were to kind of do it on your desktop computer or on paper. So that was much easier competition for us to fight against and win over from, as we showed our clients the value we created for them. Typically, we help them expedite and increase their exhibit sales, but more importantly, we improve their operational efficiency by 30 to 50% or more. So those value propositions help us distinguish ourselves pretty easily and have clients use us.
Okay, very good, very good. And how have you stayed ahead of the competition? Obviously, that's a challenge as well.
Innovation. Innovation is the key. We have to keep innovating, and we have to keep coming out with new things. When I say innovation, I don't mean only technology innovation, though that is the big part of it, but the innovation could come also from the business model side, from the process side. So keep innovating, and what I like to say internally to our team is we have to cannibalize ourselves before anybody else cannibalizes us. So we have to reinvent ourselves from ground up every 3 years.
Every 3 years. And so you systematically plan that out.
Yes.
By the way, where are you corporately located?
Columbia, Maryland.
Columbia. Oh, I love that area. One of the it's a beautiful planned community in Maryland.
It is, and right now from my window, I'm looking at the statue of Mr. Jim Rouse, who founded this city, this town.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that area. Lived in Hyattsville, but my wife and I always wanted to go to the Columbia Mall. Columbia Mall was awesome. Of course, that was back in the day. I don't know how it's held up with time. Seems like malls don't hold up very well over time. But anyway, 2015, how good of a year has that been for you?
2015 is going to be a fabulous year for us. We are planning for a pretty substantial growth in 2015, expanding our client base. Typically, every year we add about 50 new clients. So we are going to continue on that path. Plus, on the revenue side, we're going to see pretty substantial growth in 2015.
Great. I want to thank you very much for your time. Very interesting conversation and really important subject. Want to encourage the listener to go to A2Z. By the way, that's the letter A, number 2, letter Z, Inc.net. A2ZInc.net. Rajiv Jain, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you. My pleasure.
When we come back, much more for you. And I want to remind you, best content here always shows up over there at usdatareview.com. And this is The Price of Business.